Alright, so you're going to start, you have your kale leaves. I already washed them and separated them. This is just enough for me. It might be enough for 2 small dishes, but this is just enough for me right now. It cooks down pretty small. You're going to cut off the ends, like all the useless stuff. That's just a lot of extra fiber, so it's not necessarily bad for you. It just doesn't taste as good as the leaves. Alright, so you start with that, and then you're going to cut this up as fine as you can, like maybe 1/4 inch distances between the cuts, because you want it to be pretty small so that it can get a lot of surface area. I find that twisting it when you cut allows you to get a cleaner cut, and you have less of a chance of chopping off your fingers. So I probably had 5 or 6 kale leaves, and when you chop it up, it'll fill up a cutting board. And this cooks down, like I said, I eat a ton of it, by the way, so this isn't a normal portion size, but this is like enough for maybe 1.5 people. Right now I'm melting some coconut oil. If you just use regular olive oil, that's totally cool too. You don't need a wok, but you would need a larger pan then if you're not going to use a wok. And I'm just going to throw these in there right now. Alright, so you take all the leaves and you dump them into it. Oh shit. Technical difficulties. You take all the leaves and you throw it in here. And then all you do is you start flipping it over. And if you don't have a wok, I guess you could use some tongs. So this is the process. This is what we have when we start, and I will start it back up again once it cooks down. You don't do anything from here. Maybe take some of that Montreal steak seasoning. You guys have that huge bottle of it up top, and just sprinkle it on for a little bit of flavor. All right, just let it cook. So I've sauteed it now down to probably about half the volume of what we originally started with. If you want it to get crispy, you can. It's not going to damage it. I just don't like it as crispy as some people do. So at this point, I take 1 tablespoon of butter and I throw it in there. And this is just for flavor. This has nothing to do with like cooking. So our only goal right now is to melt that butter and to get it on as many of the leaves as possible. And that's for flavor, right? The only other ingredient I'm going to use is going to be lemon pepper and then a lime at the end. So make sure you have a lime cut in half ready to squeeze it in. So that butter's melting into the leaves. It's still simmering down a little bit. It's still sauteing down the size the leaves are. As soon as that butter's gone, see, it's almost gone, melting it. Stubborn piece of butter. Cook it all down. The very last thing you're going to do now, this is all cooked down, it's ready to go. You're just going to take the lime that you cut in half, we're going to squeeze it over, we're going to crank the heat up, squeeze the lime right in there, both halves of it. Make sure it gets all over those leaves. Beautiful. Beautiful. Set it down, and now we have the perfect finish to anything. It just tastes awesome. I know it's a lot of kale. That was probably enough for 2 people, I should say now. The last thing you do is you take just a little bit of lemon pepper, like this right here. We sprinkle it across the top, and you have lime kale that is absolutely awesome.